What is up, Cradix? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Double Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for July 10th through July 16th, 2025. Now, sadly, we still don't have the Drift Walton drip feed car out yet. As I've stated in the past, it will probably release with a Drift themed event along with the Drift tune upgrades for the 4 cars in the following weeks or months. We just don't know at this point. It's pretty annoying as it's the last Drift feed car we're missing, so we're going to have to wait and see what Rockstar does. Anyway, the current price right is the Progen GP1. It is primarily based on the McLaren F1 and has a normal price of about 1.2 million. To get it for free this week, you have to get top 5 in an LS Car Meet Series race for 4 days in a row. In regards to performance, it's in a supercar class and is one of the slower performing cars in my class for track performance, and that's mainly due to its lack of handling, acceleration, and average top speed. I really feel Rockstar should have given this car a really high top speed, but regardless, it does have an exclusive interior similar to its real life counterpart despite the lack of a center seating position, and it does offer tons of customization. I think this car is 100% worth trying to acquire this week, even though its performance isn't all that great. It definitely makes up for it in the styling and customization. Continuing to the test ride vehicles, we have the Brawler, the Bifta, and the Kalahari, and all 3 of these are removed website vehicles. And for current gen console and PC enhanced users, we have the Karen S95 as the HSW test ride vehicle for this week. Continuing to the casino podium vehicle, we have the Bravado Greenwood. It's primarily based on a 1977 Dodge Monaco and has a normal price of about 1.4 million and a trade price of just under 1.1 million. It's in the muscle car class and is a top 20 performing car in that class, which is very impressive considering it looks like a regular old muscle car. It gets most of its performance from its handling, which is fantastic, and it has great acceleration and a pretty good top speed as well. Just a really nice overall car to drive with great customization. Highly recommend attempting to acquire this one off the podium this week if you don't already own it. In terms of the dealership cars this week, in luxury autos we have the Suzume and the Hardy. Continuing to Simeons, we have the Rapid GT Classic, the Warner, the Masacro, the Rapid GT Cabrio, and the Hot Rod Blazer, and all of these are removed website vehicles. Continuing to the discounts, starting off with the property discounts, we have 30% off the wheat farms for the MC business. Continuing to the vehicle discounts, we have a ton this week, just like last week. So this week we have 14 vehicles on sale. So starting off with the Legendary Motorsport website, we have 40% off the 8F Drafter, a fantastic car from the sports class with a great exhaust note, customization, and pretty good performance, being above average in that class. Next up, we have 40% off the Deviant, a mid-tier performing car from the muscle car class. Not really much to say about this one, and the customization only offers a few options, but I will say the styling is phenomenal, at least in my opinion, with its custom resto mod look, and for this price I personally think it's well worth it for that. Continuing, we have 40% off the Comet Safari. So this one's in a sports class and is one of the slower performing cars in that class, but in off-road rally style tracks it does perform pretty decently, and it's a ton of fun to drive on dirt paths and stuff at high speeds, plus the customization is pretty good as well. Next up, we have 40% off the Nightshade. So this one is below average for performance in the class, which is a real shame, and the customization is pretty lackluster as well. This car had a lot of potential, and I feel Rockstar really dropped the ball on this car, but I will say the styling is pretty good, and for this price, I honestly think it's a steal. Moving along, we have 40% off the Casco. So an above average performing classic car with a great top speed and acceleration, but it is held back a bit by its performance. It really needs a spoiler upgrade, and the customization is pretty lackluster as well, being an older DLC car. Continuing, we have 40% off the Zentorno. So this one is an above average performing car in the supercar class, arguably the best budget supercar in the game overall. The back end of this car is also bulletproof, making it useful for beginners and missions and stuff like that. Next up, we have 40% off the Novak. So this is a top 5 performing SUV in the class excluding HSW. It's very quick and has great customization as well. I personally think it's a pretty good deal at this price, although the Tauros is still faster and a better buy overall. Moving along, we have 40% off the Power Surge. So this is the fastest non-HSW motorcycle in the class for overall track performance. Now I know it's expensive for a bike, especially an electric bike, but if HSW is turned off, this is the bike you want to be in. For those of you who are competitive when racing, I would definitely recommend picking it up this week if you don't already own it. And lastly, for this website, we have 40% off the Strider. So a pretty useless vehicle overall, at least in my opinion. It's in the motorcycles class and is extremely forgotten for obvious reasons. Honestly, don't see a reason in owning this thing. Moving on to the San Andreas website, we have 40% off the RT3000. So this one is a tuner's DLC car with tons of customization and great styling. Sadly, its performance isn't all that great, being pretty slow with average handling, but again, it's still a very well-made car in regards to everything else. Highly recommend. Next up, we have 40% off the Terminus. So this is a top 5 performing vehicle in the off-roads class excluding HSW. It's a very quick Jeep with tons of customization that I highly recommend buying. However, Rockstar still hasn't fixed the rear window issue that they tried to fix with the recent DLC, but they actually still broke it, so yeah. Moving along, we have 40% off the Vagrant. So this one is in the off-roads class and roughly around the same pace as the Terminus for performance, but honestly it has a bit too much understeer for my preference when racing, but it does surprisingly have a few customization options. And lastly, for this website, we have 40% off the Trophy Truck. So this one is now quite a bit off the pace of the top 10 off-roaders these days for performance, but there's still no denying it's still an overall great off-roader for obstacles in general. And lastly, to the Warstock website, we have 40% off the Starling. So this one is super fun to mess around with its rocket boost. It's different compared to all the other aircraft in game, and I personally really enjoy flying it around, although it is a bit pricey. Moving on to the gun van, we have the following weapons available this week and 40% off the railgun. For double money, we have double money NRP on all variants of the hunting pack adversary mode and the running back mode as well, plus double money NRP on the Lamar contact missions, the short trip missions, and the smoke on the water money laundering missions as well. Plus, we also have 2 times production speed on the MC Business Wheat Farm stock and the Nightclub Organic Produce stock as well. For the weekly challenge, if you complete any 3 smoke on the water missions, you receive a 100k bonus. For the FIB priority filing armor factory this week, it's going to be the Project Breakaway file. Continuing to the weekly vehicle robberies from the Salvador Abyss, again these only change once per event week. We have the Gangbang robbery with the Tyrant, the Duggan robbery with the Penumbra FF, and the Podium robbery with the Virtue, and none of these are claimable this week. Anyway, lastly for the time trials, this week's normal time trial is Tongva Valley. I highly recommend a quick bike for this one. For the premium race, we have the Supercar Race Congestion Charge. And lastly, for convention console and PC users, the HSW time trial is Terminal. As always, HSW Hakuchi Drag by the best one for these. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Power Surge. I can't believe I'm picking an electric bike as my pick of the week, but there's no denying, for the performance, it's just overall dominant in the motorcycles class when HSW is turned off, and for that reason, I think it's worth owning for those of you who are competitive in racing, and 40% off is a significant discount for a bike that's normally this expensive, so yeah, overall, I'd say buy it if you don't own it. Anyways, guys, overall, this event week I would definitely say is above average. The main highlight, of course, being the discounts with 14 cars on sale. The double money is pretty decent as well, something different. At least we have a lot of variety. So factoring in everything, I'm going to give this week a solid 7 out of 10. I think it's definitely a lot better than some of the terrible event weeks we were getting before the recent DLC release. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Anyways, again guys, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.